Imagine stepping outside, and the air feels warmer, quieter, like the world finally slowed down for you. A vine canopy overhead filters sunlight into soft mosaics. Under your feet, broken tiles sparkle like scattered jewels. Old shutters, once forgotten, now hold living greenery like a gallery of memories. And in the center, a small fire pit sits lower than the ground, as if the garden itself is holding you. What if your backyard didn't need more money, just a new way to see what you already have? Welcome to Backyard Fortune, where we turn overlooked materials into outdoor spaces that feel calm, warm, and timeless. If you love cozy garden ideas like these, vintage, rustic, and achievable, subscribe and stay with us. And here's a small wish from me. If even one idea brings you peace, share this video to WhatsApp and Facebook. Send it to someone who loves gardens and needs a little escape today. For everyone who shares and watches until the end, I truly pray for your long life, strong health, and a home filled with blessings. One, Driftwood Vine Pergola, a living canopy of calm. Imagine stepping beneath a canopy shaped not by machines, but by time itself. Above you, weathered driftwood pieces, once carried by waves and forgotten shores, now rise gently to hold climbing vines alive with quiet movement. Sunlight filters through the leaves, breaking into soft patterns that dance across the ground. Nothing feels forced here. Everything simply belongs. This pergola is not about perfection. It is about patience. About allowing nature and memory to meet in one peaceful place. Each piece of wood carries a story, each vine grows at its own rhythm, reminding us that beauty doesn't rush, it unfolds. As you sit beneath this living canopy, the world seems to slow down. The air feels softer. Sounds become gentler. Even time itself seems to pause for a moment of gratitude. This space doesn't demand attention, it invites presence. There is something deeply grounding about being sheltered by something once discarded, now reborn as a place of rest. It whispers a quiet truth. Comfort doesn't come from complexity, but from intention. And as the light shifts and the leaves move with the breeze, this pergola becomes more than shade. It becomes a reminder that calm can be built, slowly, lovingly, right where you stand. And just beyond this peaceful corner, another quiet story is waiting to unfold. Two, Sunken Fire Pit, the Conversation Nest. Imagine stepping down into a space that feels like it's gently holding you. The world above softens. Sounds quiet down. And suddenly, you are surrounded by warmth, not just from the fire, but from the way the earth itself seems to embrace you. This sunken fire pit isn't about flames alone. It's about connection. Built low into the ground, using stones shaped by time, this space invites stillness. The warmth rises slowly, carrying the soft scent of herbs growing nearby. Conversations flow more easily here. Silence feels comfortable. Laughter lingers longer. There is something ancient about gathering around a fire. Long before walls or roofs, people found comfort in circles like this, places where stories were shared and worries felt lighter. And even in a small backyard, that same feeling can return. You don't need perfection. You don't need expensive materials. What matters is intention, the decision to create a place where people feel safe, welcome, and present. As the fire glows and shadows dance along the stones, this quiet corner becomes more than a design choice. It becomes a pause in the day, a moment of warmth, a reminder that sometimes the most beautiful spaces are the ones that bring us closer to each other and to ourselves. And just beyond this circle of warmth, another story quietly waits to unfold. Three, Moroccan mosaic path, a dual walkway of memory. Imagine walking slowly along a path that feels like it remembers every step taken before yours. Each fragment beneath your feet once lived another life. A broken plate, a forgotten tile, a piece of color that waited patiently to belong again. Now, they come together in quiet harmony, forming a pathway that doesn't rush you forward, but gently invites you to wander. This mosaic path is not about perfection. Its beauty lives in the irregular lines, the soft curves, and the way light dances across its surface. Every piece reflects a moment, laughter once shared, meals once enjoyed, stories once told. Together, they form a journey that feels both personal and timeless. As you walk, the garden seems to respond. Leaves sway softly. Flowers lean closer. Even the air feels warmer, as if acknowledging your presence. There is something deeply grounding about moving slowly across a path made by hand, a reminder that beauty often grows from what we choose not to throw away. This walkway doesn't lead somewhere grand. It leads inward, toward calm, toward reflection, toward a quieter rhythm of life. And just beyond this gentle curve, another hidden corner waits, ready to reveal its own story, shaped by patience, care, and the quiet magic of reuse. Four, Shutter Fence Gallery, a wall that tells stories. Imagine a wall that doesn't divide, but speaks. Each wooden shutter carries a past life. Once opening and closing with the rhythm of a home, now standing together as a quiet gallery of memory. Their chipped paint, softened edges, and uneven lines tell stories no new material ever could. This fence isn't meant to hide anything. It invites you closer. Between its slats, light filters gently. Small plants reach outward, finding space to grow where structure once stood still. What was once forgotten now becomes a living backdrop, warm, textured, and deeply human. There's beauty in imperfection here. In the way colors fade differently. In how each panel leans with its own personality. Nothing matches perfectly, and that's exactly what makes it feel alive. As the sun moves, shadows dance across the wood, reminding us that time itself is part of the design. This is not just a boundary, it's a quiet conversation between past and present. Standing before it, you don't feel enclosed. You feel held, protected by stories, softened by nature, and welcomed into a space where character matters more than perfection. And just beyond this textured wall, another small transformation is waiting, one that turns even the coldest space into something alive. Five, Living crate wall, turning a cold space into a living welcome. Imagine arriving home and being welcomed not by bare walls or concrete, but by life itself. A living wall made from humble wooden crates transforms an overlooked space into something warm and alive. Each crate becomes a small world, holding herbs, trailing vines, and quiet textures that soften the edges of everyday life. What once felt cold and forgotten now breathes with movement and color. This isn't about perfection or symmetry. It's about layering stories. Every crate carries its own rhythm, its own small ecosystem. Together, they form a wall that feels alive, changing gently with the seasons, responding to light, rain, and time. As you pass by, leaves brush softly against the air. The scent of herbs lingers. And suddenly, a space meant only for function becomes a moment of calm. A place that welcomes you home not with noise, but with presence. There's something deeply grounding about creating life where none existed before. It reminds us that beauty doesn't demand space, only intention. Even the most forgotten corners can bloom when given care. And as this green wall rises quietly beside you, it whispers a promise. That transformation is always possible, one small piece at a time. Six, Courtyard Citrus Corner, a pocket of sunlight and calm. Imagine stepping into a quiet corner where sunlight lingers just a little longer. Here, citrus trees stand gently in their clay pots, their glossy leaves catching the light like small mirrors of calm. The air carries a faint sweetness, not overwhelming, just enough to remind you that life can be both simple and generous. This corner doesn't ask for much. A patch of light, a place to breathe, a moment to pause. And yet, it gives back more than expected. The soft texture of leaves, the slow ripening of fruit, the way the space seems to glow as afternoon turns to evening. In many cultures, citrus trees symbolize abundance, patience, and quiet joy. They teach us that growth doesn't rush, it unfolds. Each leaf, each fruit, arrives in its own time. Standing here, surrounded by warmth and gentle color, the outside world feels distant. You're not escaping life, you're reconnecting with it. This small courtyard becomes a reminder that beauty doesn't need grand gestures. Sometimes, all it takes is light, care, and a place to breathe. And as the scent of citrus drifts softly through the air, another hidden corner waits nearby, ready to share its own story of calm and creativity. Seven, Painted Garden Stairway, where every step tells a story. Imagine climbing a staircase that doesn't rush you forward, but gently invites you to slow down. Each step carries a soft rhythm, colors fading into one another, patterns guiding your eyes upward, like a quiet melody under your feet. These stairs are no longer just a way to move from one place to another. They become a journey of their own. Painted by hand, imperfect and honest, the steps tell a story of care. The kind of care that doesn't demand perfection, only presence. As sunlight moves across the surface, every brushstroke comes alive, reminding us that beauty often hides in the spaces we walk past every day. Plants lean in gently, as if curious about your path. The air feels warmer here, calmer. With every step, the world slows just enough for you to notice it again. This is what happens when function meets feeling. When something ordinary becomes meaningful simply because attention was given to it. And as you reach the top, you realize the journey was never about the destination. It was about learning to notice the quiet beauty beneath your feet. Just beyond these steps, another small corner waits, ready to turn the ordinary into something quietly magical. Eight, Balcony Sky Lounge, a quiet escape above the world. Imagine stepping onto your balcony and feeling the world gently fall away. Above the streets and noise, a quiet space waits, one shaped by soft cushions, warm wood, and living green walls that breathe with the day. This is not just a balcony. It's a pause. A small retreat where time slows and thoughts become lighter. Here, reclaimed wood becomes a place to sit, to stretch, to rest. Plants lean inward, softening edges and inviting calm. Light dances across leaves and fabric, creating moments that feel almost suspended in time. This space doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for presence. A cup of tea held a little longer. A deep breath taken without hurry. A moment to simply be. From here, the world looks gentler. The sky feels closer. Even the air carries a softer rhythm. It's proof that peace doesn't need distance. Sometimes, it's waiting just outside your door. And as the light shifts and shadows stretch across the floor, this quiet balcony reminds us that even the smallest spaces can hold a sense of freedom. Just beyond this calm perch, another hidden corner is ready to welcome you, with a different kind of warmth and story waiting to unfold. Nine, Rustic Window Herb Box, a living frame of everyday calm. Imagine opening your window and being greeted not by silence, but by life. A simple wooden box rests beneath the frame, filled with herbs that breathe softly in the morning air. Rosemary, thyme, mint, each leaf carrying a familiar scent that awakens memory and comfort at the same time. This is not decoration. It is companionship. There's something deeply grounding about tending a window garden. You don't need a large space or perfect conditions. Just a small corner where nature can meet your daily rhythm. With every breeze, the leaves move gently, reminding you that even the simplest things can feel alive. This little box becomes a quiet ritual. A place where hands pause, where eyes soften, where the world outside slows down. It brings the outdoors closer, not as something distant, but as part of your everyday life. And in moments like these, you realize that beauty doesn't have to shout. Sometimes it whispers from right beneath your window, asking only to be noticed. As the light shifts and the herbs sway, another gentle transformation waits just ahead, one that turns forgotten spaces into something quietly meaningful. Ten, raised garden beds, where simplicity grows beautifully. Imagine a place where growth feels gentle, intentional, and close to the earth. Raised garden beds bring the soil closer to your hands and your heart. Built from reclaimed wood, each bed becomes a quiet promise that life can begin again, even from what was once forgotten. Here, the garden feels organized yet alive. Leaves reach upward, roots settle deeply, and the rhythm of growth becomes something you can almost feel beneath your fingertips. There's a sense of care in these spaces, a reminder that tending plants is also a way of tending yourself. You don't need acres of land or complicated tools. Just a few wooden boards, good soil, and the willingness to slow down. In these raised beds, effort turns into nourishment, and time turns into quiet satisfaction. As sunlight moves across the leaves, the space begins to glow with purpose. This is where patience becomes visible, where everyday effort becomes something beautiful. And as your eyes follow the gentle lines of the garden beds, you realize this isn't just about growing food, it's about growing a way of life. One rooted in care, simplicity, and the quiet joy of watching something flourish. Just beyond this space, another gentle transformation awaits, one that turns narrow paths into living journeys. Narrow side yard, a green passage of quiet wonder. Imagine walking through a space so narrow it almost disappears, until it begins to breathe. What once felt like a forgotten passage now feels alive. Leaves climb gently upward, softening the walls. Light filters through the greenery, guiding your steps forward as if the path itself is welcoming you in. This narrow side yard doesn't ask for width. It asks for intention. A few plants, a quiet rhythm, and suddenly the space transforms into a living corridor, a place where movement slows and thoughts begin to wander. Each step feels intentional. Each breath feels lighter. Here, nature wraps itself around the architecture, reminding us that even the smallest spaces can hold beauty, balance, and calm. There's something magical about walking through a space designed not to impress, but to soothe. It invites reflection. It invites pause. And it gently reminds us that growth doesn't need grand gestures, it only needs room to rise. As you reach the end of this green passage, the world feels softer. And just beyond it, another hidden corner waits patiently, ready to be discovered. Rustic potting station, where hands meet the earth. Imagine a place where your hands finally slow down. A small wooden table stands quietly beneath the open sky, marked by time and gentle use. Here, soil meets skin, and thoughts soften with every touch of earth. This is not just a workstation, it is a place of grounding. At this humble potting station, creation feels simple again. Seeds are planted not in a rush, but with intention. Tools rest where they belong, each carrying traces of past seasons. The rhythm here is steady, unhurried, deeply human. There is comfort in repetition, filling a pot, pressing soil, welcoming new growth. The world beyond fades, replaced by the sound of leaves, the warmth of sunlight, and the satisfaction of working with your hands. This space teaches patience. It reminds us that growth takes time, care, and quiet attention. And in return, it offers something priceless, a moment of calm in a restless world. As you step away from this gentle workspace, something lingers, a sense that creation doesn't need perfection, only presence. And just beyond this corner, another story waits to unfold, shaped by light, wood, and living green. Rustic portico, a gentle threshold between worlds. Imagine stepping beneath a shelter that doesn't separate you from the world, but gently welcomes you into it. A rustic portico stands quietly at the threshold, shaped by wood, light, and time. Vines weave softly around its beams, softening the structure until it feels less like something built and more like something grown. This space is not meant to impress. It's meant to slow you down, to offer shade, pause, and presence. As you step beneath it, the air changes. Sounds soften. The world feels less rushed. In many cultures, the entrance is sacred, a moment of transition between outside noise and inner calm. This simple structure honors that idea. It doesn't demand attention. It invites awareness. Here, sunlight filters gently through leaves, casting moving shadows across the floor. Each step feels intentional. Each breath feels lighter. The portico becomes more than an entryway. It becomes a pause between worlds, where you arrive not just at a place, but at a feeling. And as you pass through this gentle threshold, another quiet transformation awaits, one that turns forgotten walls into living art. Living wall of textures, when walls begin to breathe. Imagine a wall that no longer separates, but breathes. Once cold and silent, it now carries the quiet pulse of life. Leaves stretch outward, textures soften, and shadows dance gently across stone and wood. This living wall doesn't demand attention. It invites stillness. Here, nature reclaims space in the most graceful way. Moss settles into crevices. Vines climb patiently. Every surface becomes part of a larger rhythm, one shaped by time, care, and gentle hands. This wall tells a quiet story of balance. Hard meets soft. Structure meets growth. And somewhere between them, calm begins to settle in. You don't rush past it. You pause. You breathe. In a world filled with noise, this living texture offers relief. It reminds us that beauty doesn't have to shout to be felt. Sometimes, it whispers through leaf, stone, and light. As your fingers trace the rough edges and your eyes follow the natural flow upward, you realize this space is alive in its own quiet way. And just beyond it, another gentle transformation awaits, one shaped by the rhythm of pathways and the softness of earth beneath your feet. Stone and pebble path, walking through quiet beauty. Imagine a path that doesn't rush you forward, but gently invites you to slow down. Each stone beneath your feet holds quiet patience. Some smooth, some rough, all placed with care. Together, they form a rhythm that guides your steps, not with force, but with calm intention. This path isn't about direction. It's about presence. About feeling the earth beneath you, noticing the small shifts in texture, the soft sounds of nature nearby. Pebbles settle into place as if they've always belonged there, reminding us that beauty often emerges when we allow things to be imperfect. Walking here becomes a small ritual, a moment to breathe, to listen, to reconnect with something slower and deeper than the pace of everyday life. The path doesn't demand attention, it earns it quietly. As light drifts across the stones and leaves sway gently along the edges, the world feels balanced again. Grounded, peaceful. And as this pathway leads you forward, it gently prepares you for what comes next, a space where structure softens, and nature begins to shape the boundary between inside and out. (16) Woven garden borders, where nature gently holds itself. Imagine a garden that holds itself gently, not with fences or rigid lines, but with woven branches shaped by patient hands. This border doesn't divide, it embraces. Each twig bends and curves, forming a soft boundary that feels alive, breathing alongside the plants it protects. There is something deeply grounding in this kind of craftsmanship. The rhythm of weaving, the quiet repetition, the sense that nothing here is forced. Nature and human touch work together, creating a border that feels as though it has always belonged. As plants grow and lean into the woven edge, the line between structure and freedom fades. Leaves spill gently over the top. Shadows shift with the day. And the garden begins to feel like a living story, written slowly with care. This is a reminder that beauty doesn't require perfection. It grows through patience, through attention, through the simple act of working with what the earth provides. And as your eyes follow the curve of this woven border, you feel a sense of calm, a quiet satisfaction that comes from creating something both humble and alive. Just ahead, another gentle transformation waits, one that brings forgotten corners back into the light. (17) Reclaimed stone borders, where the earth gently holds the garden. Imagine stones that no longer feel heavy, only grounding. Once scattered, forgotten, or buried beneath the soil, these stones now form a quiet boundary that gently holds life in place. They do not shout for attention. They simply rest, offering structure where it's needed and softness where it matters. Each stone carries a memory, shaped by weather, time, and patience. When placed together, they create a rhythm that feels ancient and reassuring. Plants lean against them, trusting their steadiness. Soil settles comfortably, as if it has always known where to belong. This kind of border doesn't divide. It guides. It whispers direction rather than demands it. And as light shifts across the surface, shadows dance softly, reminding us that stillness can be full of movement. There is peace in knowing that something so simple can hold such quiet beauty. No perfection required. Just intention, care, and a willingness to let nature lead. As your eyes follow the gentle curve of stone and leaf, another transformation waits ahead, one shaped by height, texture, and the soft rhythm of growing things. (18) Rustic fence from reclaimed wood, a boundary that breathes. Imagine a fence that doesn't divide, but gently defines. Built from wood that has already lived a life, this fence carries warmth in every grain. Each plank tells a quiet story of weather, time, and transformation. Together, they form a boundary that feels less like a wall and more like an embrace. Here, structure becomes softness. Light slips through uneven gaps, casting gentle patterns across the ground. Plants climb freely, softening edges and blurring lines between what is inside and what is beyond. This fence does not shut the world out, it invites nature to linger. There is comfort in its imperfection, a sense that things don't need to be flawless to be beautiful. The wood breathes, the garden listens, and somewhere between them, peace begins to grow. This space reminds us that protection doesn't have to be rigid. Sometimes, the strongest boundaries are the ones that allow light, air, and life to pass through freely. As the day shifts and shadows lengthen, this humble fence becomes a quiet companion, holding space, offering calm, and guiding us gently toward what lies beyond. Hidden garden nooks, small corners with big calm. Imagine a corner of the garden that feels like it was waiting just for you. Not meant to be seen at first glance, this small nook reveals itself slowly, tucked between leaves, shaped by shade, and softened by silence. It doesn't call for attention. It invites stillness. Here, the world feels quieter. The air moves gently. Sounds soften. A simple bench or stone seat becomes a place to breathe, to reflect, or to simply exist without expectation. These hidden corners carry a special kind of magic. They remind us that not everything needs to be open or grand. Some spaces are meant to be discovered slowly, moments of calm tucked between the rhythms of daily life. Surrounded by greenery, this nook becomes a refuge. A place where thoughts can settle and time feels generous. Nothing rushes you here. And as you rest in this quiet pocket of the garden, you realize something gentle but powerful. Peace doesn't require distance or escape. Sometimes, it's been waiting just a few steps away all along. Just beyond this hidden space, one final transformation awaits, the kind that ties everything together with warmth and intention. Front garden welcome sanctuary, where every arrival feels like home. Imagine arriving home and feeling welcomed before you even open the door. The path slows your steps. Leaves lean gently toward you. The air feels softer, warmer, as if the space itself is greeting you. This is not just a front garden. It's a quiet invitation. Here, every element has intention. Plants rise and fall in gentle layers. Textures soften the edges of the home. Light moves slowly across stone and leaf, creating a sense of calm that settles deep within you. This space doesn't demand attention. It offers presence. A moment to pause before the day begins or ends. A reminder that home is not only built with walls, but with care, rhythm, and love. In this small sanctuary, the outside world fades just enough to let you breathe. To arrive. To feel grounded again. And as you step forward, you realize something beautiful. The journey didn't begin at the gate, it began with intention. With the choice to create beauty where you stand. This is where the story comes full circle. Not with a grand ending, but with a quiet welcome home. And that's the quiet magic of a vintage Moroccan-inspired garden. It isn't built from expensive things. It's built from patience, memory, and the courage to give old materials a second life. If you want, tell me in the comments, which idea would you build first, and what materials do you already have at home? Save this video for later, share it with a fellow garden lover, and subscribe for the next chapter of Backyard Fortune. Until next time, keep planting, keep dreaming, and let your home become your sanctuary.